Hope you are all doing well. Please come on chat. Students, good morning. Did you go through the materials of managerial economics? Have you gone through the study materials? Please respond through chat. Good morning. Good morning all. Good morning all. Did you went through the materials, study materials? Okay. Are you able to grasp the concepts? Good morning. Good morning all. Okay. Shall I start the session? See, seminars still you have time. Those are attending in the Mysore Center. I think it is almost 20th, I think, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Still you have time. First, listen what we teach in the class, understand the concept, give preference for that first. Okay. ಆಮೇಲೆ I can see many students calling to ask regarding how many pages we need to write for assignments and seminars and all. Kindly, all the information is given in the circulars. Okay, circulars is uploaded both in the website as well as in your groups, concerned groups. Okay, so don't call frequently for small things and all, as we will be busy in the department. A lot of meeting activities will be there, and since in the next week we have to come down to various study centers to do the seminars, so we are quite busy. Hence, don't call for small issues and all. Try to read the circular completely so that you'll get all the information. Okay. Yes. Udupi, Davangere, Hubli, and Kalburgi. These four centers at the same time we are conducting the seminars. Okay, in the same date. So kindly cooperation is required from your side also, because these are all IA activities and it is done for the students' sake. So both the end there should be the responses. Okay. Okay, friends. So let us. I'll continue the managerial economics as of today. See, from day one, we are speaking about the demand, the products, price, advertisement. Okay, various aspects of the managerial economics. So, in today's business scenario, as already I said, it is very difficult to run the business as our economy is exposed to liberalization, privatization, as well as globalization. So in this context, okay, we can see many foreign players have set up their manufacturing units in Asian countries, and where China and India is most populated countries, which lies in first and second positions. And obviously, because of the dense population, they try to create the demand for those products produced by the organization. Either it can be national company, or it can be a international company, multinational company for that matter. Okay. And in this way, we have discussed about the demand, how the demand is created for the products, what is individual demand, household demand, market demand. Okay, and also various price elasticities of demand. Okay, price elasticity, income elasticity, as well as cross price elasticity of demand, how ultimately it affects the demand for a particular good or the product. Okay. And hence how the economy, the situation of the economy, whether it is in boom, recession, okay, stagnation. Based on this, how the demand is created for the product based on the spending of the individual. Okay. So if the economy is in a good condition, then there will be a lot of employment generation. When employment generation is there, obviously spending will be there, then demand for a particular product will be created. Okay, so in today's class, Let us concentrate on the cost. In the previous class, we were speaking about the elasticities of demand, how the change in the price of the particular product, the demand shows the responses. So this was the input which we have discussed in the previous class. So in this class, let us concentrate on the um, theory of cost. Okay, I'll enlarge it. Fine. See, cost plays a very important role. Okay, uh, for any organization, if they minimize the cost, obviously when there is reduction in cost, obviously profit will increase. Why? Because see, cost it is the study of behavior in relation to one or more production criteria like size of the output, scale of operations, prices of factors of productions. Okay, so factors of production in the sense, okay, what does it mean is nothing but it can be the land, labor, okay, machine for that matter. It is the behavior of the cost relation. Cost analysis is the behavior of the cost relation. It can also be defined as it is related to the financial aspects of production relations against physical aspects. Okay, so I mean totally it is depend upon the production relations rather than the physical aspects. 1 minute. Fine. So what are the various cost concepts are? So we have the various cost concepts such as fixed cost and variable cost. The name itself specifies fixed cost means the cost is fixed, whereas variable cost means it is the cost which varies accordingly. It can be depending upon the output. Okay, output might be increased or decreased. The variable cost will vary according to the increased output or decreased output. Next, we have outlay cost, opportunity cost. We have accounting cost as well as economic cost. Okay, so we have direct cost as well as indirect cost. So now let us see. So, what is accounting cost? So, these are the costs which are actually incurred, okay, and it is also recorded in the books of accounts by the firm in payment for various factors of productions. See, when you think about the production, you will be having lot of cost involved in it, and each process is the cost incurred for the each process is being recorded in the books of the accounts. For in general, for example, we can say as wages to workers employed, rent for the building which is hired, prices of the raw materials, fuel and power. Okay, so these are the accounting cost which we encounter in general, and it is also known as the explicit cost. Okay, moving towards to the economic cost. See, it is the normal return on money capital invested by the entrepreneur himself in his own business. Okay, see, the wage and salary not paid to the entrepreneur. See, entrepreneur is an individual who initiate the business, who start the business, who invest the money in the business. Okay, he is the individual who come out with the plan. Okay, who come out with the product. Okay, who come out with the whatever the necessity requirement for to bring out a particular product. Okay, as a whole. So the wages and salary not paid to the entrepreneur but could have been earned if the service had been sold somewhere else. Okay, if he would have served in other business apart from the business which he is running by his own, he would have been paid. Okay, so and that is known as the implicit cost. Okay, the accounting cost is known as the explicit cost, whereas the economic cost is known as the implicit cost. So in total, we can say that economic cost is equal to accounting cost plus implicit cost. Cost is also involved, but it depends upon the entrepreneur. Okay. Then outlay cost, see, involves actual expenditure of funds like wages, rent, interest, etc. So it is recorded in the books of accounts as it involves financial expenditure at same time. Obviously, all these are considered as the financial expenditure. Next is the opportunity cost. You are getting no? Are you able to follow no? You are able to follow no, students? Okay, opportunity cost in the sense is the it is the return expected from the second best use of the resources. See, you'll be having various alternatives in front of the organizations. Okay, so what you can do is you have to select one best alternatives. Okay, so it is the return expected from the second best use of the resources, which is foregone for availing the gains from the best use of the resources. So that means the opportunity cost, and it is not recorded in the books of accounts. Okay, but it is very useful in the long term cost calculations in calculating the cost of for example, in calculating the cost of higher education, it is not the tuition fee and books but earning forgone that should be taken into the account. Okay, so see, instead of going for plan 1, we have gone for plan 2. So what is the gains which you have forgone in the plan 1? So that is nothing but the opportunity cost. Okay, so this is very technical in nature. Okay, costs are very technical in nature and you can't alter it. In the sense, for a fixed cost you have to give the same definition. For the direct cost you have to give the same definition which comes to the direct cost, indirect cost. Okay, things like that. Okay. See, direct costs are the costs that are readily identified and are traceable to a particular product, operation, or plant. So, this is particular to one particular product or the process, etc. So, it is readily identified and are traceable to a particular product and operation or plant. You see, different production units will be having different plant layouts. As already I said, see, company like Hindustan Unilever Limited and many companies which have multiple products, ITC companies like ITC and all, they don't have only one production unit. Okay, they'll be having multiple production unit since multiple products will be produced simultaneously. Okay, and in most of the time when it is in not use, when the production unit is not in use, they will use for some other purposes. Okay, manufacturing cost. Okay, indirect cost are the cost that are not readily identified and are not traceable to particular product, operation, or plant. So directly it is not identified or traceable, hence the name itself specifies as indirect cost. Examples are electric power, salary to gatekeeper, etc. Although not traceable but bears functional relationship to production. See, for one particular product, you can't just quantify how much of electric power is used, which is highly challenging and difficult for that matter. Okay, so although not traceable but bears functional relationship to the production. So fixed next come discussing with fixed cost and variable cost. See, fixed cost require a fixed expenditure of funds irrespective of the level of output. Okay, fixed expenditure of funds has to be undergone. Okay, how much ever output you produced, it can be 50 units, it can be 500 units, or it can be 1000 units for that matter. Okay, it requires a fixed expenditure of funds. Example like rent, interest on loans, depreciation. See, depreciation is one such thing which is incurred on the machines. See, because of the wear and tear of the machines, their life goes down. Okay, as and when the time goes on, the life of the machine goes down because of the wear and tear. Hence, it is known as depreciation. And this is tax exempt. Okay, depreciation financial content is tax exempted. Next, fixed cost do not vary with the volume of output within a capacity level. So for certain, even though a low level of products you are producing, so fixed cost is a must, irrespective of the output you are producing. So fixed cost may disappear on the complete shutdown of business. Obviously, in this case, when you're shutting down means there is no production, then there is no, picture of the fixed cost in the production process. Hence, the production is shut down. Now, moving on to variable cost, see that are a function of output in the production period, like wages and cost of raw materials. Okay, and it varies. Variable cost vary directly or sometimes proportionately with the output. Sometimes it will be directly proportional with the output, and sometimes it will be inversely proportional to the output. Okay. Okay, let us see the cost function. What does the cost function say? Okay, so it is nothing but the refers to the mathematical relationship between the cost of a product and various determinants of cost. Okay, so see, we know that the cost is emerged through various sources. It can be supply of raw materials, it can be fixed cost, it can be a variable cost. Okay, it can be the packaging of the product, it can be the advertisement of the product, various promotional activities of the products. So cost is emerged through various sources, so that we have combined in a functional quotient in a mathematical formula or the relations as cost is equal to c is equal to function of quantity Q, T, PF, and K. Whereas Q is nothing but the quantity produced, which is the output, okay, the total output, and T is the technology. See, today, as I have told this in even in the previous class also, we are living in a era of technology where we have information in our fingertips, okay. So technology is advanced in such a way that even in production also we can see all latest technology in order to manufacture the products. So many companies, what they'll do, they'll try to merge with the foreign companies in order to expose to the advancement in the technology. Okay, you can see the German technology, how advancement it is. Okay, where it is applicable to four wheeler, even in machine, various other machinery products also. Okay, and PF is factor price. Okay, and K is the capital. See, for any business, capital is very much required. Without the investment you can't run the business. Without the working capital you can't run the production process. Where in the working capital management you come across the wages, supplies, so raw materials are required to produce the products. Okay, various other daily expenses which is required for the production process. So further, cost function can be divided into short run cost function as well as long run cost function. And in the same way, here also the mathematical quotient can be given as cost is equal to function of Q. Here in long run cost function, cost is equal to function of quantity produced, technology, factor price as well as capital. Okay, so these are the cost function both in the short run as well as in the long run. So in general, short run cost includes the fixed cost, variable cost, and the total cost. So total cost is nothing but the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Okay, getting now, guys, are you able to follow? Please come on chat. You're able to follow now, and it is audible now. See, it comes in the production process. Okay, cost, the theory of cost. Okay, fine. See, short run fixed cost. See, fixed cost are those costs which are independent of output. Okay, so it doesn't depends upon the number of units of output. They do not change with the changes in output. So they are a fixed amount incurred by the firm irrespective of the output. So, in case of firm shutdown for some time, fixed costs are to be borne by the firm. So, when there is no production process, obviously it has to be borne by the organization itself. For example, it can be rent, property tax, interest on capital employed, etc. Because when you have raised the fund, okay, while running the business, it is quite common that the organization will go for additional capital with the bank or with some other individual high net worth individuals who might give fund for the running the business. Okay, and when there is no production process, obviously it has to be borne by the firm. Okay, like rent, property tax, interest on the capital employed. So capital employed can be like they can issue the equity shares to the general public. So when you have issued the equity shares to the general public, you are bound to pay certain amount of dividends to the customers. Okay, as well as there will be capital appreciation to the money invested by the individual investors. And obviously if you have borrowed from the bank means you have to pay a fixed rate of interest to the bank, or else if you have raised the capital through issuing the bonds, debentures. Okay, so for those individuals you have to pay a fixed rate of interest, and also at the time of the maturity amount should also be given to the investors, those who have invested in debentures or bonds. Okay, next is short run fixed cost we saw. Next is short run variable cost, which changes with the changes in output. Variable cost always varies irrespective of the level of output which is given by the organization, which includes the payments such as wages of labor, price of raw materials, etc. And in case of the firm shutdown for some time, variable cost does not occur and hence avoided by the firm. Okay. Since there is no production, obviously wages will be not given, as well as there is no raw material supply, and hence money is not going towards the supply of the raw material. So short and total cost. See, total cost includes the variable cost as well as the fixed cost. It is the actual cost that must be incurred to produce a given quantity of output. Okay. And the formula is given in this way: total cost is equal to total fixed cost is equal to total variable cost. And you can if we analyze these theories in the chat, so it will be represented in this way, where the vertical axis we have the price, as well as horizontal axis we have the output. So vertical axis, since there is price as well as cost, we can see the fixed cost here. See, fixed cost comes here, and variable cost starts from zero itself. Total cost starts from this point. Okay, so variable cost starts from zero itself. You can see the fixed cost. See, fixed cost irrespective of the level of output, at this point it starts. Okay, so this is the short run total cost curve. Okay, next we can move on to the short run average costs. Okay, So what does the short run average costs mean is it includes average fixed cost, average variable cost, as well as average total cost. So it considers the average of all the cost. Okay, that means the short run average cost. So it can be short run average cost can be calculated as, see, average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by the number of units of output produced. Q is nothing but the quantity of output produced. See, initially you might find it difficult to digest all the things, but see, yes, yes, total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. See, initially it might be a bit difficult, okay, to digest the concepts, but when you give two or three readings along with the textbooks, you might find it easy, and at the end of the exam, when exam appears, it is better you give more readings, okay. So average fixed cost is the total fixed cost divided by the number of units of output produced. So referred to as fixed cost per unit of output. So short run average variable cost, the same formula is also applicable in this case. See, average variable cost is the total variable cost divided by the number of units of output produced. Okay. Number of units of output produced. So refers to as variable cost per unit of output. Variable cost per unit of output. Okay. So that is taken as average. See, AVC normally falls as output increases from zero to normal capacity of output due. See, as and when you increases the level of output, that we call it as economies of scale. Okay, we call it as economies of scale because as and when our output increases at a certain level of output, the cost increases, but after a particular period of time, the additional unit which you are producing, the cost decreases because of the bulk production. Okay, so that is known as economies of scale. Short run average variable cost. So AVC normally falls as short run, see, average variable cost normally falls as output increases from zero to normal capacity of output due to occurrence of increasing returns. So, as I said, the I mean, mm, as and when there is bulk production is there, the cost also reduces. Okay, beyond the normal capacity of output. So AVC first falls, reaches its minimum, and then rises again. It also reaches its minimum, okay, for bulk production, and also then rises again, and again it changes towards its nature, come backs once again, and it will rises again. Short run average total cost is given by average total cost is the sum total of average variable cost and average fixed cost. See, in the previous formula also, total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. There was a slight mistake. It has given as equal. Okay, it is uh, total cost, total fixed cost, as well as total variable cost. Since here we are considering the average, it is AFC plus AVC. So it is referred to as total cost per unit of output. Okay, so total cost incurred per unit of output. Okay, so, and the behavior of ATC means average total cost depend upon the behavior of AVC and AFC. Okay, average variable cost as well as average fixed cost. Okay, okay. So I'll stop sharing this. Next, I'll move on to the break even analysis, so that by this time I hope you have got the basics of the cost. Okay. What the cost means, what are the different types of cost, short run cost, as well as average short run average cost. Now I'll take up the break even analysis. Okay, I'll just downloading the uh, give me a minute, I'm uploading it. Okay, students, I'll continue with the. I'll continue. It's an additional input, Roshni. Okay. Apart from the materials, also we have taken the data from other books and all, and hence it has been appeared. So need not to worry about that. It is the general graphs which has appeared. Okay. Hmm? Okay, students. Okay, it's taking time to. Okay, okay, okay. So today I'll be further. I'll be explaining with break-even analysis. See, break-even analysis is an economic tool, okay, which is used to determine the cost structure of a company or the number of units that need to be sold to cover the cost. So this is in general used by the top level management in order to identify the profit or loss which they are producing for the concerned projects in the organization. Okay, it is the cost structure of a company. Okay, or the number of units that need to be sold to cover the cost. So in order to cover the cost or the loss, okay, how much amount of units that need to be sold, okay, or the demand should be created in order to sell this number of units of the product. Okay, it is a circumstance where a company neither makes a profit nor loss but recovers all the money spent. See, most of the time when the company comes out with a product, they will be in a situation that at least they cover the cost of production. Because, see, any new products that will be invented, initially the price of the product will be high. Why? This is the general tendency of the any organization in order to recover the cost of production which they have invested for a particular product. See, there will be there will be cost relating to the production, there will be cost relating to the market research, cost relating to the promotional activities, cost relating to understanding the mindset or behavior or the preference of the customers. Okay, so when you are introducing a product means you have to do lot of research as well as homework, as well as you should understand the competitors also. Okay, what sort of competitors are there for our products existing in the market. So it is a circumstance when a company neither get the profit nor the loss. That is nothing but the break even analysis. See, no business or a firm can run the business if there is no profits earned by them. Obviously, no. So only the NGOs, the company which doesn't have the interest of making the profit, which we call it as NGOs. Okay, so they are not in the interest of making the profits, but in order to cover the fixed investment and variable cost, obviously any organization, commercial companies need requires the profits. See, every businessman would like to know the minimum sales that he has to make to at least get his investment back. Okay, in the sense, any organization, they should get to know how many amounts of units I need to produce in order to get back the investment. That means further they doesn't incur any loss. Okay, ascertaining to this point of sales, it is not very easy. Yes, no, many a times might be if the product reach to the customers, then you won't find it very difficult. But if the product is not demanded by the customers, then the problem lies how to create the demand to sell the products. The technical financial tools used to find out this is no loss, no profit point is the break even analysis, or the cost, volume, profit analysis. See, break even analysis, or the it is also known as cost, volume, profit analysis. So it is a vital importance in determining the practical application of the cost functions. Okay, functions of three factors like sales, volume, cost, and profit. So these are the inclusive of break-even analysis, where we take into consideration the volume of sales, cost, and the profit. Okay, it also aims at classifying the dynamic relationship between total cost and sales volume of a company. So there is a direct relationship between, or the dynamic relationship between, the cost, the total cost TC, and the sales volume of a company. Hence, it is known as cost volume profit analysis. It also helps to know operating condition that exist when a company break even. Okay, that is when sales reach a point equal to all expenses incurred, attaining that levels of sales. Okay, and the break even point is also known as no profit or no loss point. Okay, that particular point is known as no loss or no profit point. So this concept have been proved highly useful to the company executives in profit forecasting and planning, and also in examining the effect of alternate business management decisions. So, based on this analysis, what the top level management can do is they can make the decision upon the profit forecasting. Okay, so the company should know what amount of profits we can take in this first 5 years or next 10 years, things like that. Okay, and also they can make the alternative business management decisions. See, I'll take up an example of Maruti Swift here. Sorry, Maruti Suzuki. You can see they have a number of cars from small segment to large segment, sedan, SUVs, middle range cars and all. And you can see after a particular period of time, might be 5 years, 10 years down the lane, what they'll do, they'll reinvent or add some extra features to the existing product. Okay, so that is the alternative business management decisions. Somewhere here I could have given the chat. I missed the chat here. Sorry for that. Okay, so further, see, break-even analysis refers to ascertainment of level of operations. Okay, where total revenue equals to the total cost. Since that is the point where uh, that is the point, okay, where there is it is neither loss or neither profit. Since that is the point, break even point is the point where there is neither loss or neither profit, and hence the level of operations where total revenue equals to the total cost. In the sense, tr, total revenue, is equal to the tc, total cost. And it is the analysis used to determine the probable profit or loss at any level of operations. So it is easy to analyze the level of profit or the level of loss at any level of operations. So it is method of studying the relationship among sales, revenue, variable cost, fixed cost to determine the level of operation at which all the costs are equal to its sales revenue. Okay. So it is a no profit, no loss situation. This is important technique used in profit planning and managerial decision making. Okay. It is the volume of sales or production where there is neither loss or profit. I'll just try to upload the graph here. Give me a minute, okay? I have missed it in the slides. Okay, or else I'll show it in the next class. Okay, guys, need not to worry about that. I'll give the break-even chart in the next class. If I just minimize, also it will, the connection will go off. Okay. Next is contribution. So what is this contribution? See, fixed cost at BEP. BEP is nothing but the break-even point. So contribution is nothing but the fixed cost at the point of BEP. So, what is this contribution analysis? See, in the previous slides, we discussed about the short run cost, short run total cost, short run variable cost, short run average total cost, short run average variable cost. Okay, so all these technical aspects of cost has been discussed. So, in this contribution analysis, we'll discuss about the marginal cost as well as marginal costing. Okay, see, the term marginal cost is defined as the amount at any given volume of output by which aggregate costs are changed if the volume of output is increased or decreased by 1 unit. In the sense, it is a variable cost of 1 unit of a product or a service. Okay, so that is a cost which would be avoided if that unit was not produced or provided. Okay, see, we know that the variable cost varies accordingly to the number of units produced. Okay, and here marginal cost, it defines as amount at any given volume of output, okay, by which the aggregate costs are changed if the volume of output increased or decreased. So variable cost vary according to the output increased or decreased. And it is the ascertainment of marginal cost and the effect on profit of changes in volume or type of output by differentiating between fixed cost and the variable cost. And the concept of marginal costing is based on the behavior of cost that vary with the volume of output. So it is also known as variable costing. Okay. Under marginal costing, prices are determined with reference to marginal cost and contribution margin. So, based upon the marginal cost as well as the contribution margin, here the marginal costing price is being determined. Okay, so the probability of the products or the company is determined with reference to their contribution margin. So here, marginal costing, costs are classified into fixed and variable cost. So from this approach, it is possible to identify the amount of contribution per product towards fixed overheads and profits. See, when while analyzing the break-even point, obviously we'll take into consideration of identifying the amount of contribution per product. Okay, so how much ever the individual product is contributing towards the fixed overheads and the profit. One individual product, how much it is contributing towards the profit, as well as how much it is contributing towards the fixed overheads. Okay, so it is very clear here if you analyze this point. Okay, if you check in the second point, you can understand it. And finally, contribution is the difference between sales and marginal or variable cost of sales. Sales and marginal or variable cost of sales. Sales minus variable cost of sales, which is also known as marginal cost of sales. Okay, and contribution is a pool of amount from which total fixed cost will be deducted to arrive at a profit or loss. Okay, so when you know the variable cost, obviously you can deduct the fixed cost. Okay, in order to arrive at the profit or loss. So here we can see some distinction between the contribution and the profits. So formula used in marginal costing and contribution. So sales variable cost. Sales includes variable cost, fixed cost, as well as profit. Okay. And also some, if there is no profit, it will be loss, minus loss. Okay. And contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost, where variable cost varies along with the production of output. Where either it can be large output, it can be less output. So fixed cost plus profit is equal to contribution. Okay. So when you deduct the variable cost in sales, what remains is fixed cost and the profit, which will be equal to the contribution. Therefore, sales minus variable cost is equal to fixed cost plus profit. Okay. Okay, it is here. The chart is here. The break-even chart is given in this way, where you can find the in a vertical axis there is a amount, amount in dollars, and in horizontal axis you have number of units, means total number of units produced. Okay, so and you can see how it varies. Amount here it is 20,000, for particular amount of production of number of units here, correspondingly you can see here. Okay, and fixed cost, you can see it lies in at the amount of 1 lakh. Okay, fixed cost is 1 lakh here, which you can see in the red line. And total cost crosses here. Total cost is above the fixed cost, which is in the yellow line, or the which is in yellow, this thing. Total cost is equal to variable cost plus fixed cost, which is shown inside the brackets. And you can see revenue initially it will be zero for any product introduced. Okay, starting you won't find revenue after till a particular period of time. Usually it differs from product to product, but generally we can say that at least 4 to 5 6 years of initial revenue, it is quite difficult for a product. Okay, as a large amount of investment will be involved, various promotional activities will be involved. Okay, and you can see revenue line, which is in a blue color. It crosses it crosses the break even point here, BEP, which is shown in an arrow mark, and revenue starts increasing. You will get the profit here. Okay, so between the blue line and the yellow line, you can see the revenue emerging to the organization. So before that, you can see between the blue line and the yellow line here, which where the fixed cost will also come, it is the loss occurring. So after the break even point, the profit is emerging here. And again, this revenue and total cost curve will cross each other. And again, okay, so further it will cross each other. Getting, guys, are you able to understand? Able to get now? You're able to understand? Please come on chat. Chat, do I need to repeat the chat? Yes, yes. So this last one I have bit doubt. Contribution minus fixed cost is equal to contribution. I have doubt in this fifth one. Formula, do I need to repeat once again? Yes, even I felt it like that. Yes, contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. Yes, as in the third formula, it is fixed cost plus profit is equal to contribution. So here, contribution is equal to contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. Yes. So make it a slight change over there. So the fifth formula is the contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. Okay. So I think you have got certain input on the cost. What is cost, like how you see, and whichever the answers you write in the examination, try to support your answers with the charts. Okay, so it helps you to fetch the marks. And also what happens, you can get more marks also when you support your answers by the charts and all, so that it shows how you putting down the concept through figures. I'll just correct it and I'll upload. Okay. So this is the break even chart as explained. So only I gave just input on the cost, so that you can understand the break even chart easily. See, there are certain assumptions for break even analysis. Okay. See, see, assumptions in the sense, see, all costs are either perfectly variable or absolutely fixed over the entire range of the volume of production. Okay, so costs are either perfectly variable, okay, or absolutely fixed over the entire range of the volume of production. Okay, in practice, this assumption might not hold true over the entire range of production. See, even in demand analysis also, for the demand theory we had certain assumptions. Okay, for any theory for that matter, usually we see various assumptions lying under that particular theory. And next assumption is all revenue is perfectly variable with the physical volume of production. So this assumption might not be valid in all cases. For example, low prices may be charged to large customers. Okay, and the volume of sales and the volume of production are equal. The next assumption is volume of sales as well as volume of production are equal. See, everything produced is sold, there is no change in closing inventory. In practice, sales and production volumes may differ significantly. See, why do they give discounts and all, vouchers, coupons, and all that will be given by the organization in order to clear the stocks. Okay, so this we have seen discount sales and all. See, when there is volume of sales and volume of productions are equal, then there is no scope for discounts at all in the organization. Okay. However, these assumptions are not so unrealistic as it impair the validity of the break-even analysis. See, in case of multi-product firms, okay, the product mix should be stable. For a multi-product firm, the BEP is determined by dividing total fixed cost by an average ratio of variable profit to sales. Okay, so like this, various assumptions of the break-even chart is available, and sometimes, as we discussed in the elasticity, sometimes it is nearer to the practicality, but sometimes it is farther to the practicality. So things changes like this. Okay, guys. So uh, hope so you have got the concept, and from day one I'm able to find this, which is important. Please don't ask like that, we don't have the authority to tell like that. Okay, it is technically wrong. And I'm keep on telling that try to cover the topics which we do in the classes, and uh, yeah, I'll share the PPT in the group. And one more thing is, try to write the assignment by yourself as well as seminar paper also. So this preparation helps you to understand. I'll tell it, guys. See, I'm the head of the department, okay, and we are under the BOE meeting. BOE papers is been getting prepared in the meeting. So since I'm the chairperson for that, also I'm a bit busy. Give me some breathing time so that I can able to prepare well for you and give the lecture. Okay. Then seminar papers as well as uh, assignment papers, try to prepare by yourself, search the materials. One textbook is Dominic Salvato. Okay, Dominic Salvato. Why it is not there? See, it is in circular section. Now groupallu saha upload ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. See, in website what they'll do is they'll put the circular in circular section, assignment topics in assignment section, seminar topic in seminar section. Okay, if you find it difficult, it is uploaded in the group, and okay, I'll look into that. Once again we'll upload in the group, need not to worry about that. Okay. See, if you make the preparation for these topics, it helps you in the examination. You'll get to know what are all the topics are there. So, what concepts are there? Okay, what concepts are there? You can understand it. So, try to make some time, keep some time to prepare assignments as well as seminars. Okay. Okay, students. Thank you so much. I'll be continuing in the next class. Previous year question paper, what happens? See, yours is CBCS batch. It's subject to be presented on first day. See, that will inform you. See, that is according to the courses. Course 1 and course first and course 2 will be in the first day. Okay. They'll upload the timetable. Don't worry. Before starting the presentations, we will upload the timetable for the concerned batches as well as the concerned centers, so that you will get the information. And papers will be like C1 first, C2 second. C1 and C2 will come in the first day. Okay, C3 and C4 will come in the second day, and the last paper will come in the third day. So open elective is not involved here. Don't get confused. Okay, open elective is not involved in this. So you have to concentrate on the first five papers. Okay. Papers, previous papers I will give, but that won't be the same format for the current this thing. Okay, previous papers will upload. Need not to worry about that. Open elective is not involved for seminar as of now. For those things, for open elective, we'll give additional informations, okay, in the coming classes. First you prepare assignments and seminar topics for this five papers. Okay. Okay, thank you so much.